Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince. R2-D2. Look at the size of this thing. So, backstory is Kip Hakes, another YouTuber, and he is part of the My Mate Vince fan club. I'm not, obviously. He sent me through a message saying that a message came through asking how to get hold of me because a guy had one of these and it's got no power. And basically he said it was nearly up on £1,000. He'd like to get it repaired, but he's tried asking a few YouTubers and he can't get hold of anybody. So I thought, oh, that would be interesting, but at the same time, somebody's pride and joy, and if I've never worked on one before, that would make me feel uneasy, understandably. So I thought I'll have a look on eBay, see if anybody's selling them. And sure enough, this came up for £299, no power. So I thought, perfect. Maybe by the person watching this video, he might be able to fix his own one. And if not, by the time I've got to grips with my own one, I might be more confident to fix somebody else's, so then he can send me his one and that can feature in another repair video if he can't fix it himself. So $299, it came with R2-D2 himself. It came with this that I didn't even realise. It mentioned something about Lego, but it wasn't very clear. But yeah, this came and it was sealed. I've opened this up, so my son's going to look forward to building that. And it came with a load of magazines. So basically, a whole box full of magazines, but not all 100 of them. So what this is here, and you know what, it's quite a clever little kind of business plan. So what you do is you sell a magazine for, I think these were $8.99, I think it says on them further along the line. Yeah, there you go, $8.99. And you sell them, I presume, once a week, and each week they will come with a part. So what you would do is you show how to, a little how-to at the end of each magazine, how to put together the parts that came in that particular magazine. So, for example, R2-D2's right leg, etc. And then it forces the people to keep on buying the magazines week after week. And then at the end of it all, they've got themselves £899, and you've got yourself an R2-D2. Now, although that is an awful lot of money for this, I kind of get it, because it's a little kind of hobby thing, isn't it? People probably wouldn't mind maybe spending, well, $8.99 might be a bit much each week, but you know, if you're an adult and you're into Star Wars, $8.99 a week, you probably look forward to the magazine being released each week, and each week you would put together another bit of your R2-D2, and I'm sure there's probably loads of forums online and stuff talking about it, and in each magazine there's like, it's interesting. The one I looked at was all talking about robots and stuff like that, you know, like robot vacuum cleaners. So it's not all Star Wars related. It also goes into the electronic side of things as well. So it's quite, like robot technology, aerospace origins and stuff. So it's quite interesting. Now, I haven't got all 100 magazines. I think it stops at 80 something, so I'm not sure where the rest of the magazines have gone, but this fella here does look fully assembled. So as it came to me, it had this little bag with it with some little covers for the holes. So obviously the person, it was cash converters, I think, that sent it out. They've obviously had a look inside, but they can't fix it. So I do not know anything about this. I've never built one before, I've never operated one before, but I watched a YouTube video. There's an on and off switch at the bottom there, and there's various different buttons here, and he's not doing anything. He looks pretty impressive when he does work. You connect it to your phone and you can control it from your phone. I think it's got a hologram type thing that comes out, like a little projector that comes out. He speaks to you, he moves around the place, all different lights flash. This here looks lovely. This is all aluminium. I mean, look at him. He does look pretty impressive. And he's half the scale, so 50% smaller. I would have thought R2-D2 would have been bigger than that, but you know, if you were to double that in size everywhere, it does start to get pretty big. So yeah, it's all looking very good. Personally, I think I'd like it a bit more dirty. It's all very clean at the moment, but I suppose you can get your paint out and you can, oh, I won't, should I force that open? Yeah, there we go. You can get your paint out and you can make it all, oh, there's a nut down here as well. Okay, so that's loose. You can make it dirty, can't you? So that's it. This is no power. How many videos it's going to take, I'm not too sure. It might take one video. It might take 5 videos. I don't know how involved it's going to be. But rather than trying to read up on all the magazines, let's just start trying to fix it. Now, I'm going to find it a little bit hard because my finger is still not in operation, so I have to kind of keep it out of the way when I'm working on something. And this thing is pretty heavy. That must be 5 or 6 or more kilos. So yeah, it's quite heavy, so it's not going to be the easiest thing to work on. Also, have you heard the bad news? Lilt It's rebranding. What on earth? I used to love Lilt when I was younger. Tropical taste. Right, okay, so I think what we need to do is, first of all, we need to get the batteries out of this. Do you know what? There might not even be any batteries in it. Maybe that's what's wrong with it. So, but I presume the person who had it must have... must have got rid of it for a reason. So there's a jack here that you can plug in. I think it was an 18-volt jack. I haven't got a power supply with this. So if I do get it working, then I've got to make something up. It all looks very, very good quality. Let's start undoing screws and see if we can get to... Oh, the head's just come off. That might be a blessing. Right, does that head come fully off? It's all cable tied down. It's all a metal frame in here. Looks incredibly well made. Tell you what, let's not worry about the head at the moment. Let's undo these screws at the bottom and let's see what happens. I'm thinking this is where the battery pack's going to be because the power bank, the power jack's down here. Do you know what, let's get these out of the way so it doesn't distract you from the main event, R2-D2 himself. I actually thought $299 was a fair enough price because these seem to go for a lot of money, and also it's got all the magazines, not all, but most of the magazines. Some people sell the magazines separately as, like, you know, collectibles. Is this coming out? Oh, here we go. Right, this must be the battery pack here, I presume. Oh, listen to that. Must be a micro switch there, so when he runs into something he will stop and reverse. That's clever. Alright, so there's two little screws and it says open that way. This feels very light. I don't think there's any batteries in here. Imagine if it was just batteries. That it didn't have the batteries in it. Surely not. I'm wondering if somebody plugged in a power supply which isn't suitable for this and they've blown the power board on it. These are a bit fiddly to work on. Let's put them on its side. Oh, that's come out. Hold on a minute. Wow, that's even... Is that... Hold on. Is that copper or is that... No way, that's copper. That's metal. I thought that was just fabric, like a hair bubble, but it's not. Even that's metal. Wow. Attention to detail. Right, okay, so what does this take here? 3.7 volt batteries, 18650s. Well, that's the reason it doesn't work. Well, I presume it doesn't work even with the batteries, but it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 18650 batteries. Let me get some. Okay. I actually recently took delivery of these. Fogstar, that's where I get my little batteries from. Not sponsored. But actually, this video is sponsored. I'll come to that in a minute. I've got different types. Oh, they're different amount of amps. Some of them are 30 and some are 25. So the 25 are going to be the cheaper ones. Let's just put in the 25 amp ones. Now, normally these come up with a little bit of charge on them. Let's just double check. And yeah, these are the ones that show the nib, you know, just like a normal kind of AA battery. These haven't got nibs. These are for soldering, but it should still work, I think, because those springs look massive. Let's just see what the voltage is coming out of these. I mean, I presume it's not just going to be this. Well, they're a little bit low. I was hoping they'd be higher. They're 3.5. Ooh, okay. Well, we should still get something out of them, shouldn't we? So they're nearly like they are pretty much fully discharged, aren't they? Because they're going to be 3.7, but fully charged, these are going to be about 4.2, even though they're rated at 3.7. 3.4, what? These have been left for ages. Okay, well, let's try them. Yeah, I think they are going to make contact. No, they're not going to make contact. Right, and that, I bet you that's the problem. I bet whoever put the batteries in, let me try to zoom in to show you this. They do need, you can get 18650s with a little nib sort of sticking out the ends. Because if you have a look here, the problem we've got is there's actually a little lip here and here which stops the battery from hitting that. So if you look in here, can you see we're about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters away from actually hitting the metal. So that's not going to be an option. That's annoying. Right, what am I going to do here? I'll tell you what. I mean, I could put little bits of foil in each one, or I could find out if it's center pin positive or negative and find out the voltage and go from there. So let's do that. So I think maybe lots of people would make that mistake, not the original one who built the robot, but you know, when it gets passed down to other people or sold on, I think they would just see that you need an 18650, buy them on eBay, and these sort of ones are going to be the one that you're going to get. And can you see they're flat at the top here? They don't stick out like a normal AA or AAA battery, and that is the problem. So you might find that this works perfectly. Right, okay, so we need to compare this to the little jack here to see if we can find out what's center pin negative or if it's positive or not. I'm just trying to work out what's going on here, because I can see that they're in contact, they're in contact, they're in contact. Now, is this in contact with here? No, but it is here. No, but this is here. Right, so it's the batteries are in parallel with each other. So these two are, and these two are, but they're in series. Each parallel lot is in series with each other. So basically you've got 3.7 volts here, but 2 lots of batteries on that for more amps. And then they're connected through series to this one and this one. So let's say if they're 4 volts fully charged, you're looking at 12 volts going through these wires here. So now, that means then, is it going to be these ones going off to here? Or is it going to be this side? Right, it's this side. Right, so that one goes to here, but not to there. So that says to me it is center pin positive, so it's just quite normal. So let me have a look online and see, is it 12 volts that needs to go into here or more? Because it looks like this is generating 12 volts. And let's get the bench power supply on here and see if we can power it from that. Now, if you like building robots like R2-D2 here, maybe you like designing your own circuits and getting them made. If that's the case, PCBWay will come in very useful for you. So here I've knocked up a little prototype off a game. Do you remember Whack-A-Mole at the arcade? So basically with this one here, I have to hit the lights within a certain time, and all of this is made possible by a tiny little brain up here called a microcontroller. And then if you don't do it in time, you fail. There we go, game over. This little prototype version here is just knocked up using a load of wires, but obviously it's a little bit on the big side. So if you want to make it nice and small, then you can design your little circuit board, and then you can send the Gerber files off to PCBWay and get them made so it all looks nice and professional. So now let's get this onto a little circuit board. So the good news is, now that I've got a pocket-sized Whack-A-Mole, next time I manage to trap one of my fingers or something else in a door, I've got something to keep me company when I'm waiting at A&E. Product placement. Anyway, PCBWay don't just do circuit boards. They also do CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, injection molding, and PCB assembly. So if you want PCBWay to source the components and solder them on for you, that's also a possibility. So a massive thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Links are in the description down below. Now let's get back to Mr. R2-D2. Right, I've had a look online and it's 15 volts, 2 amps, and it is a center pin positive, so we did test it correctly down here. So now let's get the bench power supply. Turn it on first of all, put it to 15 volts. Do you know what? To begin with, I'm going to put it to 12 volts because that's what the battery would be outputting. Let me just short the leads together. And right, 10 amps. Let's lower that right down. Right, so 2 amps and 12 volts. Let's see what's going to happen. So, negative and positive. Now I'm hoping it doesn't work, so I'd actually like to open this up and fault find it. Excellent, he's not doing anything. Or is that because he's not standing up, I wonder? 1 second, let's stand him up just in case he's got some sort of sensors. Let's stand him up so he can go, oh, whoa, 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 finger! Ow! Are you going to do anything? Excellent. He does nothing. So I presume you can power him just... Oh, he is doing something. Look. He is. Well, my son be over the moon. If I'm honest, I'm slightly disappointed. Yeah, he's got like a flashing light at the front here. Oh, whoa. Whoa, that sounds good.
Good. Loud is what it sounds.
Oh, do you know what? I'm gutted. Right, okay. Well, look, there might be other things wrong with him. I think what I'm going to do is I need to get button top batteries. That's what they're called. For the time being, I'm just going to put in the 18 650s that I have, and I'm going to roll up a bit of foil just to make my own button top at the end there. And yeah, leave them plugged in for a while, get those batteries charged up, and then we'll see. Hopefully there might be something not working. Do you know what? If you wanted to flip something though, then I'm sure you could probably easily make a couple of £100 on this. It's just for me, I wanted a kind of mini series from the videos, but who knows, maybe the projector side of it doesn't work, or maybe the Bluetooth doesn't work, or one of the motors don't work. Fingers crossed there will be something else wrong with R2-D2. I mean, should we have a look on the inside of him just out of curiosity? Yeah, I think we should. Wow! What on earth? There's even something at the back here. Are these like sensors so it knows where it is? And what does that do? It doesn't even, it's just plastic on the other side. Whoa, it's all metal frame. Look at this. Let me just undo this for a minute so I don't break it. Do you know what? This would have probably been a great kit to make. You know, like, you know, it's enjoyable making things like radio control cars, the Tamiya kits. Well, imagine making up this thing. Look at that. Yeah, it's all a metal frame. And it's really nice. They've got wraps around the wires, you know, cable management, and then cable tied up. Yes, they should have been cut down there, but still, that looks really, really nice. I suppose if you've had to do it over 2 years, maybe you do kind of take pride in every little bit you do. Yeah, look at the head up here. I wonder if that's just supposed to, I suppose it's just gravity holding it down. Maybe it's not supposed to lock into place because you need to lift it up to take it apart. It'd be a great thing to look into further, wouldn't it? Got little heat sinks on here. Well, look, fingers crossed there's going to be something else wrong with it, but it looks like it's incredibly well made. Really nicely made. So I'm going to foil up the batteries to make button tops and then plug it in, and let's see if the battery pack is getting higher voltage than the 3.7 on each of them. And that says to me then that hopefully it'll be charging me. Maybe there's a problem with the charging circuit. Actually, before putting any batteries in, let's plug it back in. I've got it off at the switch. Let's plug it back in and let's see if we've got voltage in the battery pack. Anything anywhere? Yes, we have. No, 3.5. So 3.5 there. 3.5. Does that not seem low though? Unless maybe it's oh sorry, it's lithium, isn't it? So it's going to be intelligent. So it will charge at the lowest safe amount, and then I presume it starts upping it the higher it goes. That's interesting. Let's put the batteries in and let's see if it's raised up higher than 3.5. So we need to bump up just the end bit here to make it into a button top. So I've got my foil. Obviously this isn't a permanent thing. Let's see if that's enough. Right, I think something like that will be small enough, but give it enough. You don't really want to be messing with lithium batteries, you see. I just need it to make up the difference. Tell you what I could do, I could get a little bit of Captain tape and just put it on the very edge bits just to hold it on, and that will hopefully still keep the middle bit exposed and I won't be worried about it moving all over the place. So just a little bit of this here. There you go, that's still going to make a contact in the middle there. That's more like it. Now, I don't know if you could see up in the room earlier, but let me see if I can zoom in to show you now. So look at the difference between them. Can you see on this one that it isn't actually making a contact? It looks like it is, but it isn't because of these things are in the way here. There's these little things. So the battery sits against the end here, and because they're not button top, it doesn't go past that. But now you can clearly see that that one's making a nice contact with the metal, but yet this one isn't. There's a gap down there. Right, so I've just got to do that with each of them. Okay, so that's the last of the foil makeshift button tops here. Let's pop it in, and then we should be able to get a reading across the battery pack. Get the meter. So we're going to be looking at around about 12. No, it'd be less than 12 because these only have 3.5 in. So what's that? 7? 10.5. So we're going to go here and here. Excellent, 10.6. There you go. Right, and let's see where it goes to. So there's loads of wires coming out of here, but some are going to be like for charging and stuff. But it's going to be the two main red and black ones. Can you see that? There's blue, black, and red as well, smaller ones. Actually, there's more. There's another two. These all look like they're chafing a little bit. Do you know what? Out of curiosity, shall we have a look on this side to see what is lurking underneath? Wow. So maybe the one from the My Mate Vince fan club, maybe this board's gone faulty, you see. So the good news is now, if this is fully working, then I can swap parts over to get, his name was Joe. So if you're watching this, Joe, as long as you're from the UK, obviously don't send it from any other country, but if you're from the UK, yeah, I'll take a look at it, because as long as this video does work, obviously watch the rest of the video, because then, for example, I can swap this over completely to your one, and if it starts working, we know we can just fault find this board here. So, yeah. So now let's get our bench power supply on, plug it in and see if the voltage goes up on here. So I won't plug it in just yet, I'll get my meter set up here. Now let's see if it jumps. Let me get it ready. Fingers getting in the way. And we're in. There we go, it's jumping, look at that. Excellent, so it is charging. Do you know what, I love seeing that going up like that. Oh, now it's dropping. Oh, it's settling, and now it's going to jump up bit by bit, slowly and safely. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it just like this now so I can monitor it. Right, it is working its way up, but it's extremely slow, and obviously it's because I've only set the bench power supply, which is over here, to 12 volts or 12.1 volts, and remember online it said 15 volts at 2 amps. I think we need to up the voltage to 15 volts. Now, just in case I get some bad reading, let's unplug it from here. Let's see what it's going to stop at. So there you go. Can't remember what it started at, but hopefully it's a bit higher. So now let's up the voltage to 15. I'm going to put it a little bit less just in case. There we go. And we know already we're at 2 amps when I touch the leads together. So let's plug it in now and let's see what it jumps up to. So plug it in now. That's more like it. Right, hopefully it will charge up a bit quicker now. And now, yeah, we're still at, now that's better, look, 14.75 volts. and it's still at constant voltage, but it's now at 1.8 amps. So that's going to go in much quicker, because before it was only charging at 0.2 off an amp. So hopefully now it will start charging a lot quicker. Well, it's been a good hour, maybe longer, and you can see now 12.57, so I say the batteries are nearly fully charged. And if you look over here, the amps have dropped, so the voltage will stay the same, but bit by bit the amps have nearly halved now, and they'll keep going down. So if you watch that now, it's 956, now it's 954. In another minute or so it'll be 953, and it will just keep going down and down and down. I presume until it probably gets to maybe 0.1 or 0.200, and then it will just trickle charge at that level there. But basically we're just about there now with the charging. Right, looking here now, you can see it's got all the way to 12.59 volts, so these must be just about fully charged. And it's dropped down over here to 0.4 amps, so it really seems to be behaving properly. And I'm sure if we left it for another half an hour or so, it would drop down even more. But I think I'm happy with how it is at the moment. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I can feel that the batteries now are, they're not ice cold, but they're cooler than they were. About half an hour ago I felt that they were ever so slight. They weren't hot, but there was definitely some warmth to them, which I suppose is pretty normal. But it looks like the charging circuit's working. But when we put this back together here, I'm going to put the lid on it now, I wonder, is it going to come to life with just the batteries? I mean, what was the original fault with this? Because looking at the eBay description, it said the seller said that it, not the seller that sold it to me, this looks like it was a cash converters thing. So I suppose whoever took it into the shop, they said that it was working fine and then it stopped. So unless a battery had failed, or do you know what? Maybe they'd left it for a year or something, and maybe the batteries discharged themselves down past a safe amount, and maybe it wouldn't charge after that. So, you know, because not everybody's got a bench power supply, have they, that they can use in these instances. If you were just to leave it up to the power jack and it was below the safe level, then it wouldn't charge. So maybe that's the situation. But I don't know, do I? So let's put it back together, put them upright, and see if it comes to life on just the batteries. Look at that, a nice 12.3 volts, nice healthy amount. Right, okay, let's put the cover back on this and see if it's going to work. And while we're doing a reassemble, we'll give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive, and the members this month are kitdigital.com, Kit Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Will Michaelis, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, DJVG, Pixie, Robert from Timsy's Autowear, Daniel Watson, Zeke C, Anthony Dean, Bazza2, Operational 117, Russ Melanson, Save Our Stuff, and Hunter Short. Thank you guys. Now what do you think? Yes or no? I think he's going to be just fine. Well, is it going to work? Let's see. I'm going to say yes. Right. Oh, these have popped out. Turn it on underneath. Let me see what these is. Instructions here. Patrol mode on off, arms in out, lightsaber up down, pair mode connect Wi-Fi, number 5 switch connection mode, number 6 is power on and off. Wow, look at that. Oh, motors are strained. Are they? No, that's his head. Oh my god, looks amazing. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's got a light at the back here as well. Right, okay. Let me get him connected up to my phone. I'll come back to this in a bit. Okay, he's nearly working fine. His lightsaber's not popping up properly, so it could be possibly, I don't think it's going to be anything major, but that could be maybe a quick T-brake repair or something. So having a look here, he does loads of things. So he's got a video, I haven't tried this one yet, but he's got a video still camera. And I think the idea is that you can remote access into it. So you could be away on holiday and then he would be taking pictures or videos off your house, a bit like a security camera. He's got extendable arms. I'll show you all this. Microphone and speaker. It says that he should do some humans owner's voice commands. I can't get that to work, but again, that could be just me. Then pop-up lightsaber, this is a thing that I'm struggling with. Remote controlled app, realistic droid movement, projector, I'm going to show you that at the end. That's amazing because it's from memory, just like the film. And I haven't tried this yet, but dual mode, so you can have it where you control it or where it goes into like a droid mode, AI, and it will do its own thing. So that's pretty special. And I was having a quick look in here, and it tells you, it's kind of good. So it tells you what's in this issue, and then it will tell you what's coming up. So you can see all the different parts as you go along. So maybe if you need like circuit boards or something, maybe you could buy that particular issue. I wonder either directly from them or possibly from eBay. I wonder whether anybody's selling issues by themselves. You know, people that, I know you can get complete ones that cost a fortune, as in, you know, unbuilt ones with all the magazines, but maybe people are selling them singly. Maybe they bought, I don't know, like 50 off them and then gave up or something. So anyway, let me show you this. I've got my son on it. We've been trying the different features, and he's just got it connected to the iPad here. And basically, if you, let me go this side, it's like a remote control thing. So you can see here, you have the head moving left and right. So if you just do the top thing, so you can see the head's moving left and right. And now you've got forward, back, left and right, and it's very responsive. And he's fast as well. It's good, isn't it? And then you've got all these features down here. So if you have a look, if it focuses, it will say shake head. So if you hit shake head, it's good, isn't it? He makes good sounds. Walk in a circle. He really is very detailed. And should we do some of the talk ones?
Alright.
And a few others? Do the raspberry one. And again. It's so good. If we go back, what else was there? Oh, do the lightsaber, show the lightsaber not working. Oh, it worked that time. Right, okay, put it down. But you see, it doesn't click back again. You've got to do it. Now do it again. And you see it didn't work that time. It's like it's got stuck on the inside. Do it where the arms come out. How cool is that? And in again. Oh, this is my favourite part. The LED bit here. How nice is that? Look at that. There's another thing which says long LED, which I don't understand what it does because this stays on the whole time. Yippee, something's actually fully broken. The long LED, there's no life whatsoever in it. Is it going to be fixable? I don't know. We'll have a look at that in part 2. It's got to be at least attempted because the short LED is my favourite thing on it. It mimics like the fibre optics on the real R2-D2. So yeah, that's going to be in part 2. And as well as that, we'll have a look at why the lightsaber doesn't seem to be working properly. It's working a bit, but not properly. But luckily, the long LED is not working at all. But look at that. How like 70s or 80s does that look? I don't actually know when the first Star Wars film came out. I think it might have been the end of the 70s. But that looks amazing. What else? So you've got things in here which I don't think are anything, even though they're hard to open. I don't think these are anything to do with like automation. I think you just bring them out, probably for display reasons and stuff like that. Do that thing where it goes on patrol, Ben. And it does recognise, so if I stand in front of him, see he tries to get out of the way. He'll struggle on the stairs because that's low down. It must be from here that he does it. Right, go on patrol again. Right, let's see if he recognises the radiator. Did you move that or it's moving? Oh no, so it is moving on its own accord. I don't think it's going to recognise that, the magazines, because it's... Oh, it must be hitting the leg at the front. There we go. And shall we end? I think, have we done pretty much all of it?
Yeah.
Let's end on the hologram. So let's turn off the lights. Now, watch this. Oh, 1 second, sorry, let me turn off this light. You don't have to turn the lights off, it just looks much better. So there we go, do the holograms. And what... And what I like is, it's like digitised the way it was in the films.
I'm presenting you a gift.
It is amazing. Right, I did say goodbye in the video there, but look, we went on to video control and now we're looking at what R2-D2 sees. How good is that? That's the front door. Bring it round over here. So you're looking at what R2-D2 sees, so the video control is working. Oh, this is really, really clever. That is so good. Right, okay, yeah, so spin that round there while he's moving so you can now see. Oh, that's amazing. Right, well that was a nice way to end the video. I thought the projection part of it was the best part, but no, I think maybe that is there. That's excellent. Resolution's not too great though, but it's all right. You can just about make out what's going on. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up and I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed this one here. The buying from eBay was a complete joy. It was arrived as described, lovely packaging, nice messages, and yeah, the item itself I think honestly is just amazing. Long term, is it going to get use? Probably not. But short term, it gives a lot of fun. Great little thing for a man cave, a little bit of a party piece. So in the next episode now, I'm hoping it's going to be more interesting because we can get more into R2-D2. We need to decapitate him and we need to see what that long LED's not working and also why the lightsaber's not going up and down properly. So with the long LED, I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but I just lifted up his head just an inch just to look in there to see if I could see. I couldn't see the back of it because it's covered up, but it's covered up by a board, get this, with a HDMI port on it. What is that about? So in R2-D2's head, there is a board in there with a HDMI port. So that's pretty interesting. So hopefully, if you liked this video, I think you're going to really like the next one, which I'm going to start right now, because it means we're going to get more into R2-D2 and hopefully into more the workings off him. So yes, stick around for that.